Okay, I'm trying this again. It was glitching out on me, so I refreshed everything. I had to stop the video. I'm trying it again. About 1541-ish or So this is part 2. Napoleon seizes power. The Brumaire coup. Before we get started, there's a thanks button on the channel. You can donate, subscribe, or give a thumbs up. Thumbs up, definitely, if you can't do anything else. This is all it takes. That's it. That's it. That's all it takes. So let's get into the video. Hopefully it's not going to glitch like it was.
Rich. Meanwhile, that morning at the Luxembourg Palace, where the 5 directors reside, Sayas and Roger Ducos announced their resignation and urged Barras, Goyer and Moulin to follow suit. Barras decides to take a long bath and will not be disturbed. Perhaps he is mulling his options, or waiting for an offer. When it comes, it is from Talleyrand, the man who perhaps understands him best. With the help of an enormous bribe, and the reassurance that he will keep all his estates, Barras agrees to resign. France's longest-serving director, and once formidable power broker, quietly leaves the stage. He is driven to his country house that evening, under military escort. Goyer and Moulin are not so easily persuaded, and so they are placed under house arrest by General Moreau. Their objections are futile. With the resignation of 3 directors, the executive is constitutionally defunct. The conspirators have what they want, a power vacuum, to which they will propose a solution the next day at Chateau de Saint-Cloud. It will be a day on which the future of France hinges. That evening, as Napoleon rides through the Place de la Concorde, where so many had died under the guillotine, he turns to his secretary. "Tomorrow," he says, "either we will sleep at the Luxembourg, or we'll end up here." Napoleon rises at 4 a.m. and rides to Saint-Cloud. There he meets Murat, newly promoted to General of Division, whose 6,000 troops surround the chateau. Officially, they're there to guard the council members. But as deputies arrive for the day's session, the heavy military presence is impossible to miss. There are long delays. Benches have to be found for the chambers. Council members have time to mingle and discuss the many swirling rumours. This time, the Jacobin deputies are present, and they're not happy at being excluded from the previous day's meeting. When the councils finally begin their sessions at 1 p.m, the mood is raucous. The sudden resignation of the directors, the presence of so many troops, the claims of a Jacobin plot. There is much to discuss. The plotters had hoped for a quick vote to establish a new provisional government. But the presidents of both councils struggle to take charge. Hours pass. Napoleon loses patience. At 4 p.m, he bursts into the Council of Elders. As he begins to speak, he is heckled and derided. Napoleon is thrown off balance. He rambles, mutters, then hesitates. When a deputy interrupts, "What of the Constitution?" Napoleon flings back, "The Constitution? You yourselves annihilated it." There is uproar. Napoleon continues, demanding action from the council. Anyone who speaks against him, he strongly implies, has been paid by the British. To any such deputy he warns, "May the lightning of war crush him instantaneously. Remember that I walk accompanied by the god of war and by the god of fortune." These ill-chosen words seem to confirm the Assembly's very worst suspicions. By some accounts, Napoleon has to be dragged from the chamber by his staff, shouting, "You are scoundrels! I will have you shot if you don't obey me!" Napoleon is shaken, but not defeated. Within minutes, he storms down the corridor into the Council of 500, where the president, his brother, has lost all semblance of control. The mood here is of even greater defiance. The deputies have spent the morning swearing oaths of loyalty to the Constitution. And when Napoleon arrives, flanked by grenadiers, he receives a torrent of abuse. "Down with the tyrant," they cry. "Outlaw! Caesar! Cromwell!" These the names of famous generals turned tyrant. As the crowd presses in, he is grabbed, jostled, even punched. Lefebvre and his grenadiers rush in to extricate Napoleon from the scuffle. They haul him clear and drag him into the courtyard outside.
This is going to be a stupid question. What was he expecting when they had the meeting before and the Jacobins weren't invited? They show up. They're not happy. Clearly, understandably so. Was he expecting when he showed up that they would already see the writing on the wall and he's going to lay down authority and they're all just going to, oh no, oh, okay. Like, they're not just going to give up. They still, I mean, they don't know the plan, but they still believe they have the authority to, you know, be functioning members of Congress, so to speak. Like, was he really expecting that they would just give in? And I'm asking this honestly, if anyone knows, was that what his intent was, that he's going to give this and they're just going to surrender? No, I mean, if I'm a Jacobin and I'm in there, absolutely not, I'm not going to. You know, I don't know what he was thinking.
Napoleon is rattled and bloodied. He seems unsure what to do. His old comrade, General Augereau, now a council member, comes out to see him. "You're in deep water now," Augereau tells him. Napoleon regains his composure. "It was worse at Arculay." Nevertheless,
that's another thing that I see. Every situation is a battlefield. And so he can't evaluate things outside of win and loss, death and survival. He's a great military leader for being a dictator or authoritarian, but he can't grasp a negotiation. That's how I view it. I could be wrong.
Coup totters on the brink of disaster. If the council declares Napoleon an outlaw, it could mean a firing squad or a swift trip to the guillotine. But the riotous disorder has played into his hands. He is the military commander of Paris. When he hears Jacobin deputies are keeping his brother Lucien in the chamber against his will, grenadiers are sent to bring him out. Napoleon attempts to rally troops for a decisive intervention. News of his manhandling by the deputies outrages his old comrades. They are raring to go. But the Legislative Guard, the 400 troops charged with protecting the council, are not convinced. It is Lucien who seizes the moment. He mounts a horse and announces, "Citizens, soldiers, the great majority of the council is at this moment being terrorized by a handful of deputies armed with daggers. These brigands are doubtless in English pay. I declare to you that these madmen have made themselves outlaws by their assaults upon the liberty of this council." Then he draws a sword and points it at Napoleon's chest. "I swear that I will stab my own brother to the heart if he ever makes an assault on the liberty of Frenchmen." The doubters are won over. A signal is given. With bayonets fixed, troops flood into the Council of 500, with General Murat at their head. "Citizens, you are dissolved," he shouts. And then to his men, "Get this damn rabble out of here." The deputies scatter. By some accounts, they jump out of windows, leaving their robes and hats strewn across the gardens. Certainly, the conspirators had hoped to avoid the use of troops. But it had always been a backup plan, one that turned out to be desperately needed.
This guy right here getting poked in the booty? That's rude. You can't bayonet someone in the old milk dud. You can't do that. Yeah, I see your face. And this person's getting it right in the back. Right in the booty. Just inappropriate. What in the hell is this? Is this a person? Well, yes. Okay, I see. The paintings aren't exactly hitting home runs here, okay? I mean, okay.
Later that evening, a few deputies are rounded up to form a rump council of 500. Joined by the similarly cowed Council of Elders, they approve the measures that are suggested to them. The dissolution of the Directory, the adjournment of both councils for 4 months, though they will never meet again, and the appointment of 3 provisional consuls, a term borrowed from the Roman Republic. Emmanuel Joseph Seyes, Pierre Roger Ducos, and General Napoleon Bonaparte. 3 years, 8 months since he took command of the army of Italy, Napoleon has risen to the summit of political power in France. He will now be one of 3 men in charge of drafting a new constitution for the Republic. But through his brilliance, energy, and immense popularity, he will soon overshadow his 2 colleagues. Only one man will emerge to rule France. The first consul, Napoleon Bonaparte. And what better way to cement his hold on power than a new military campaign and a return to Italy. Do you want to see our newest and most visually spectacular video? Right now, without ads. The Battle of Cape St. Vincent was a key naval clash of the French Revolutionary War. The battle that made Nelson famous, and we're telling its story with the help of 3D graphics and Unreal Engine. Nebula subscribers can watch it.
Sorry, I was kind of enjoying the graphics on that. All right, so this is a little bit shorter, but I didn't know. But anyways, so that's interesting. If you have any more Napoleon videos, I've done a lot of his campaigns and stuff like that. They're on my channel. But if you have more, yeah, keep them coming. So until next time, have a good day, have a good night.